Hi guys, so I was asked by someone to just do a few questions on simplifying algebraic expressions. Okay, and these questions were sent to me, so I'm just going to address them. Question 1.1, we're asked to simplify the following. And we've got x over x plus 4. Let me just write it down just in case people can't see that part on their screen. X plus 4 times, and then we've got x squared minus 16 over x squared plus 4x. Okay, so the most important part when we're factorizing, I said that I gave the clue away there, when we're simplifying algebraic expressions is factorizing. Alright, so we want to factorize each part separately if we can. This top part here, x, can we factorize that? No, that's already in simplest form. Can we factorize x plus 4? No. But when we get to the other side, I'm just going to make a dot for times. The top part, can we factorize this? The answer is yes. That is a difference between two squares, which means we'll have two brackets. The square root of the first term goes in the first place in each bracket, and then we get a plus and a minus, and then the square root of 16 goes in the last place. There we go. And the bottom we can factorize common factor of x. What's left is x plus 4. Alright, and now since we just have one term over one term now, because we're timesing, we can cancel things out. So the x plus 4 can cancel with the x plus 4, and the x can cancel with the x. So our final answer is x minus 4 over x plus 4. There we go, that is our answer. Okay, question 1.2. Let's do that in a different color. Let's do that in green. Okay, question 1.2. So here we have, I'm just going to write everything down again. ax minus b plus x minus ab. That's all over ax squared minus abx. Okay, and we have to simplify that. So again, factorizing will be our friend. So let's start. So at the top we see there's no common factor. It's not a quadratic trinomial. It's not a difference between two squares. But what we can do is we can make it factorable by just factorizing parts of it together. So we see the ax and the x can go together. So let's just rewrite it so it looks easier on the eye. So ax plus x, and then minus ab minus b. So I just rearranged the order there. X squared minus abx. That is a really ugly A. I'm going to get confused with that one. That looks too much like a 9. So let's just rewrite that one. So that's supposed to be an A. Okay. So what we can do is we can say let's take a common factor out of this part and out of that part separately. So taking out a common factor of x in the first part, we're left with a plus 1 in the bracket. And in here we can take out a common factor of b. I'm going to take out negative b, right? Because I think that'll be better. So if we take a negative b away from here, we're left with positive a, and a negative b out of there, we're left with 1. Good. At the bottom, we can take out a common factor of ax, and that gives us, we're left with an a minus b. Sorry, not a minus b, x minus b. We're left with x minus b. My apologies. Alright, so the top part, now we know there's a common factor. The bracket is the common factor on top now. So the bracket is the common factor, and what's left if we take the bracket away here, there's an x, and if we take it away from here, there's a negative b. And at the bottom we have ax times x minus b, and again, now we've got one term over one term, so we can cancel, which leaves us with our final answer of a plus 1 over ax. And that is that. Alright, 2 more questions to go on the second page here. Let's start with a different color. Well, let's do the same. It's only 2 questions, so let's do the first question in blue again. 2.1. Okay, so this is a big long one. So 2.1, again we need to simplify. And a simplification, I don't think that's a nice term because it can mean expand or it can mean contract by factorizing. But anyway, so this one we'll just expand and see if we can factorize again later. 2.1, let's write down the whole question. So we've got 3 big brackets small bracket 2a minus 3b, and 3a minus 2b, minus 4a plus b times a minus 4b. Close the big bracket plus a squared. So we can see that's quite a line full. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work from the inside out. So I'm going to keep that, and I'll multiply these two brackets together first. So 2a times 3a gives us 6a squared. 2a times negative 2b is negative 4ab. 3b, negative 3b times 3a is negative 9ab. And negative 3b times negative 2b is plus 6b squared. Alright, now we're going to do this. I'm going to put minus and then just keep a bracket for now. So let's do the same thing. 4a times a, 4a squared. 4a times negative 4b, negative 16ab. b times a is ab, and b times negative 4b is minus 4b squared, and plus a squared at the end. Okay, let's keep the 3 there. Inside we can start collecting like terms now. So we've got 6a squared, that's fine, 6a squared. These are like terms, so negative 4ab minus 9ab is negative 13ab. And then plus 6b squared, that's fine. Minus, or let's first collect the like terms inside here. So the 4a squared is fine, but this part, these are like terms. So negative 16ab plus ab gives us negative 15ab. Okay, negative 15ab. So now we've got negative 4a squared, and negative 15ab, but there's a minus in front, so it'd be negative 15ab, which is positive 15ab. Then we've got negative 4b squared, so negative 4b squared, which means positive 4b squared. Okay, plus a squared. Right, so we see this is kind of a messy but not too complicated thing. The problem here is it's easy to make a small mistake, like a sign error somewhere. And that's usually the biggest problem with this. It's not, because all of us know how to multiply out fractions. We've been doing that for a long time, algebraic expressions. Okay, so 6a squared minus 4a squared is 2a squared. 2a squared. And then let's look at the ab's. So we've got minus 13ab plus 15ab, so that gives us plus 2ab. Then we get the b squared. 6b squared plus 4b squared is 10b squared. And then we've got the plus a squared. So now we're almost there. Let's multiply in the 3. So 3 times 2a squared is 6a squared. 2ab times 3 is 6ab. 10b squared times 3 is 30b squared plus a squared. And our final step now, final step is just to say that is then equal to 6a squared plus a squared is 7a squared plus 6ab plus 30b squared. And that is our final answer. This cannot factorize. If this could factorize further, I would suggest maybe do that, but this is our final answer. It cannot factorize any further. Alright, let's get to the last question for this video, question 2.2. Question 2.2. So I'm going to start it right here just so we can see the question still. So 2.2. Here we have 2x minus 1 over x squared plus 2x minus 8. And now we're adding that to x over 4 minus x squared. Okay, so we said factorizing is our friend for algebraic expressions. So we need to factorize everywhere we can. So this top part here, that cannot factorize, so that just stays 2x minus 1. The bottom, we can factorize that. That's a quadratic trinomial. It'll get 2 brackets, and we'll have x and x. Factors of 8 is either 1 and 8 or 4 and 2. 4 and 2 in this case will work. So if we have plus 4 and minus 2, That'll give us the positive 2 there. Alright, plus x cannot factorize, that's already in simplest form, but the bottom again is a difference between two squares. The two brackets, we've got 2 plus x and 2 minus x. Alright, now when we're adding and subtracting fractions, the most important thing is to get this common denominator. So I like to start, I just work from left to right for the denominator. So I see the first thing we have is an x plus 4. So before we get there, we might want to look at this. We might want to see this bracket and this bracket. Looks very similar, but the only problem is the signs are different. We've got x minus 2 and 2 minus x. Now if we can just take out a negative or factor out a negative sign from one of these brackets, that is going to help us a lot, because the less of these brackets in the denominator we have, the better. So let's actually do that. Let's rewrite this equation first as keep the top 2x minus 1. The bottom here, I'll keep the left hand side as is, x minus 2 plus. But before we write the plus, we have the x at the top. At the bottom, the 2 plus x I'll keep, but I'm just going to name it x plus 2 because I just like putting the letter before the number. But now this one, I want to take out a negative here. So if we take out a negative sign, both signs change and it becomes negative 2 plus x, which is the same as that. Now where do we put that negative if we take it out? We could put it at the bottom. We could put it at the top. I like to put it here. So whatever this sign was, so we see that was a plus. So now that's going to change. If it was a minus, it would become a plus. Alright, so now we have x minus 2 because we took out a negative there, so we swapped the signs of the terms inside. Alright, okay, now we can find our common denominator. So we start from the left. The first one we have is x plus 4. Then we have an x minus 2. And then we check on this side. Here's an x plus 2. Is there already an x plus 2 that side? No, so then we need to add it. X plus 2. X minus 2. Is there already an x minus 2? Yes, so we don't add it. That's my method of finding the common denominator. And we see it also helps a lot when we first factorize. If we didn't factorize and we just said this big part here times that, we would have gotten a really complicated common denominator, and the top we've been getting something too difficult to factorize. Even though your mathematics might be correct, you'll get stuck somewhere very likely with the high school knowledge that we have. Alright, let's continue. So we started off with 2x minus 1 here. So we see this one, what does this need? This is the same as that, so we still need to get this part extra. So this one needs that little part, x plus 2. Alright, minus, and here we started with an x, and so this x plus 2, x minus 2, so what does it need? It's got the x plus 2 and the x minus 2, so it still needs the x plus 4. Let's actually, I'm just going to do that in a different color. Sorry, the x. Alright, I'm going to do that in pink. Okay, so these two are right here, so what it needs is that part, that's missing. So that's going to be the x plus 4 part. Alright, and from here it's pretty straightforward. Now we just multiply out the top. So 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 2 is 4x. Negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. Here we've got negative x times x is negative x squared. Negative x times 4 is negative 4x. Alright. So, at the bottom we still have our denominator is the same. X plus 4, x minus 2, and x plus 2. Okay. So we can collect like terms at the top. So 2x squared minus x squared is just x squared. 4x minus x is 3x, minus 4x is negative x, and then the numbers we just have a minus 2. And we rewrite the whole denominator, x plus 4, x minus 2, x plus 2. And now we can factorize the top if it can, and in this case it can. we have x minus 2 and x plus 1 all over x plus 4, x minus 2, x plus 2. Alright, so we see these are long questions. And now, luckily, we can cancel out these two, and we're left with our final answer of x plus 1 over x plus 4, x plus 2. That is it. So thanks for sending in this question. I hope it helped. And remember to factorize. And remember, factorizing is your friend when working with algebraic expressions. See you soon.